Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be explaining some of my favorite brushes that I like to use, my favorite blending technique, and how I build color in my looks. So if you'd like to see how I created this look as well as learn some tips and tricks, just keep on watching. So I'm starting out with my brows and other eye done, and I went in with the Savannah Rose Cosmetics brow pomade to create realistic hair strokes as usual, and then prepping my lids with the Plouise base in 1 and tapping in with a Morphe Sponge. I start off all my looks with a Morphe M506 brush. This one is my ride or die. I probably couldn't do a look without it. It's a fluffy small bullet brush, so it really disperses the product while blending it out at the same time. So I'm going in with the shade Not My Journey from the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe Volume 2 palette, and I basically start off by swirling this brush in the pan 2 times. Then I start to apply the product by using circular motions in the inner corner and outer corner of my eye. I prefer to do it this way rather than stamp the product because I can find I get super harsh lines doing it that way. So because we're creating a spotlight eye, I'm just mapping out where I want to put my shadows, so I'm just outlining it with my brush. Basically just leaving a gap in the center of my eye from the brow down so that we can add some pigments later. Just wiping off the excess product onto a face halo, going back in with that exact same M506 brush and Therapy Sesh from the palette, and I'm using this shade basically to just blend the edges of Not My Journey. So I have my brush positioned half on the old shade and half on the unblended side, just using the exact same circular motions. This is just going to diffuse any harsh edges that we have and help the pink shade that we're going to go into next blend out even more. I'm trying to keep these colors super low to my crease, so I'm not taking the depth of the purples any higher than my natural crease, and that's another reason why I love the M506 brush, is because it's super precise but still fluffy, so it allows me to get into the nooks and crannies of my eyes. I find if I start my looks off with a really big brush, it can make the product go pretty much everywhere and I end up with fallout pretty much all over my face as well. And I'm constantly going back in with the brushes I used previously just to blend and build up the color so I don't lose the intensity. Next, I'm taking an M433 brush, which is pretty much like a medium-sized fluffy. I'm using this with the shade Tipsy Girl from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just focusing this above the shade Therapy Sesh. You probably will lose a bit of the intensity from that Therapy Sesh shade, but that's okay because we'll go back and re-intensify it later. As I blend closer to my eyebrows, I increase the size of my blending circles. This is because I'm really starting to blow out that product and get it really nice and diffused. I love using this brush in particular just above my crease once I've placed down my first couple of colors because it's fluffy but it's still got a bit of an oval shape, so it doesn't allow the product to spread out too far. Once again, still using circular motions until I get to that outer corner, and then I start to flick it out towards my hairline. Going back in with that M506, and I'm just re-intensifying that purple shade that we popped down before. I really wanted to focus on showing you how to blend purples because I found when I was starting out with makeup, these were the colors that I struggled to blend out the most. I used to have so much trouble blending out purples. I found they always used to go patchy on me, but I haven't had any issues with any of my colors going patchy since I've changed my techniques to these. Now I'm going in with a Morphe M441 brush, and I'm using this with the yellow shade called No Joke. So whatever empty space that we have left, I'm blending from there all the way up into my eyebrow. This yellow shade is actually one of the nicest yellows I've ever used, and I've tried quite a lot of yellow colors in my life. I found I didn't really have to build this one up as much as I do with the others, and it still gave me great color payoff. So as you can see, I'm just going in with really large circular motions, and I'm not applying too much pressure at all. You probably think I'm being super rough on camera, but I'm actually applying barely any pressure at all. Pretty much just tickling the skin with the brush. I grabbed the shade Temptress from the Morphe palette and an M506 brush and just followed the exact same steps as I did for the first purple shade. I like to go in with black eyeshadow as the very last step, as I find that I can control the intensity a lot nicer than just slapping it on first and trying to blend it out. Once you're happy with your blending, I go in with the Morphe M224 brush, and basically I use this for all of my cut crease work. Anything to do with my Plouise bases is what I use this brush for. So I grabbed a small amount of my Plouise base in one, and I just stamped it from my eyebrow down to my lid in that area that we left blank. I'm not being super precise with this because I'm going to tap it in with my finger, and I'm also going to pop pigments on top. My favourite brush for any loose pigments is the M213 brush. It's a nice soft flat shader brush that's super small, and I'm just going to be going in with two Australis shimmer pots. So I've got the shades Pretty Pink and Nearly Naked, and I'm just going to be tapping Pretty Pink on the outer edge of the concealer and then Nearly Naked through the center to really brighten it up. These pigments are really intense as well. I don't find that I need to add a setting spray to make them more intense, and they're also sticking to an already wet base. So now I'm taking the Hydra liners from Suva Beauty in the shades Scrunchy and Space Panda, and I'm just going to be mixing these together on the back of my hand with a bit of MAC Fix Plus to create like a pastel neon pink shade. To apply this, I'm actually using brushes I purchased from my local art shop. This is one of the bigger sized ones. I do actually use quite a lot of their really tiny ones, the 0 size, for a lot of my detailed liner look. But recently I've been loving using a bigger eyeliner brush for my liners so that they don't go on as streaky. Popping the LaGirl Neon Liner in Screamin on my waterline. Curling my lashes and applying a little bit of the BYS Boost Mascara. I'm going to finish off my base and lips off camera just to save a bit of time, so I'll be back in 1 second. If you're wondering what this lip combo was, it's the Morphe lip liner in Love Bite, the Morphe Jeffree Star lipstick in Mannequin, and the gloss in Star Crown. Finishing off my eyes, I'm going back in with my Savannah Rose Cosmetics Salty Lashes, and I'm just cutting them in half to give a more fluttery look. You can use code CHELS20 to save 20% off at Savannah Rose as well. And this is the final look, you guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned a few things and enjoyed the video. I'll list all the products that I used today in the description bar below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified when I next post. Bye guys!